Ag PhD full episodes and more are now available on Acres TV, the newest ag platform connecting you to fields of information. Look for us on watchacrestv.com.
During our Farm Basics time today, we're going to talk a little about field operations at night. And as a farmer, I will just tell you, I really don't want to be out there at night. I don't want our people to be out there at night, but this is just part of farming. So we're going to discuss this just a little bit on our show today.
Here's one of the challenges though, Brian. In the fall, there are less daylight hours, so there just isn't as much time in the light to get things done. And when it's getting dark at 4 or 5 or 6 o'clock, there's still a lot of work to be done.
One of the advantages we have in the northern part of the United States, and especially farmers know this up in Canada, is in the summertime, there are lots of daylight hours. So if you're working on the farm in the summer, like for us, I mean, the sun doesn't even go down until after 9 p.m. through a couple of the months in the middle of the summer. So you can do just about anything then. You can start early, you can work late, no big problem. But yeah, to Darren's point, once you get past that September 21 date and that fall equinox, well, now the days start getting shorter, and it just seems like they start getting really short once we get into October, and we're finishing harvest a lot of times in early November. So yeah, those days are pretty short.
And we know the snow is coming. We know that we're going to freeze. And so we're running out of good days to be out there where we can actually do things in the field. That's why farmers have to push. That's why farmers have to work some of those nighttime hours.
So one of the things that we do on our farm, because we have a lot of rolling hills and some fields that are a little bit difficult to plant and to harvest, is I'll just say to our people, okay, let's make sure we get this field done in the daylight, or get this area, this field done, or let's start that field, get it opened up and get it all ready to go in the daylight. There's just a big advantage when we do have those daylight hours, so everybody can see everything that's going on. And I will just tell you, back before we had all the technology to see literally on the computer screen what's been harvested or what's been planted, there have been areas that have been missed in the dark, either not harvested, not planted. I mean, there are just things that go wrong when it is dark.
All right, well, here's the other good thing about modern agriculture is a lot of the new equipment and even some of the older equipment has been retrofitted to have great lighting out there.
Yes.
So now the lighting is so much better than when we were younger. The safety factor is much better for farmers. So a lot of times you'll see equipment and it looks amazing out in the field, how lit up everything is. That is really important because there are a lot of different moving parts out there on harvesting machines and trucks that farmers really have to keep an eye on to make sure that they don't have a breakdown or have a fire or another problem.
There are some farmers who are willing to go 24/7. They'll just keep going if conditions are right and they can make things happen on their farm. Our rule has basically always been, we're cutting it off at 9 p.m. We want to make sure our people are getting a good night's sleep every night, or at least most nights, because accidents are much more likely to happen when you're tired. So I would just encourage you, if you're a farmer, try to get some sleep. I know it's great to get the work done. Believe me, we've done some of those things before too, where we go all night, but we really try to avoid that, especially as we get a little older.
All right, and if you happen to live right by one of these fields and you say, man, there's farmers out here going all night long out of my field, just know they're almost done. We're right at the end. We get harvest done, maybe they do some field prep and fertility work, but there's only a few nights they're gonna be out there all year. So be a little patient with the farmers if they're working in your area late at night.
Yep, and one of the things sometimes farmers are doing is some tillage or maybe some late night spraying to control our weed of the week. We'll tell you how to stop this tough weed coming up later in the show.